Hey everyone, Dr. Zeo here again, and today we're here to talk about Power Rangers Dino Fury Season 2, Episode 17, Things Unspoken. And oh my god, this was a beautiful episode filled with touching, emotional energy and an interesting plot develop. Well, interesting for the most part on the villain side of things. Void Queen's cooking up something, basically. But yeah, it's an Izzy focus episode. Izzy and Fern, yes, the power couple that be. But basically, let's go ahead and get right into it. So we do, as always, our summary, likes, dislikes, conclusion, and then our questions of the week. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Summary wise, so the episode starts off at Buzz Blast, right? Izzy's leading off some buzzer size, I think she called it, some exercise session. Antics ensue with Jane and a exercise ball. Izzy ends up catching her, and then her dad, congratulates her for catching Jane, I guess. And then Fern walks in, and Fern is here to tell us that she got accepted into. Let me look up the name of this college. So she got accepted into the Oakdale College, and they have their elite sports program, and that's one hell of an accomplishment because the elite sports program is hard to get into and it requires a lot of time and training. It's an elite sports program, of course it does. But Amelia notes that it is a 6-hour drive from Pine Ridge, and when she notes that, there's a little bit of awkwardness in the air because I guess Fern and Izzy are aware of that, and you're wondering, well, what's gonna happen to our power couple that be? What are they gonna do? And so essentially, what is it? I guess Izzy also applied, but she hasn't heard anything back. And Izzy's dad, Warden Garcia, asked, "Hey, do you want me to give y'all a lift to the track?" And so the Izzy, Fern, and Warden Garcia walk off into the distance to the track. And as they're walking to the track, they're, I guess, in the middle of Pine Ridge. They're over here joking about. And then Mucus, Henchman, and our monster of the week this time, Quickspine, pop up and make their appearance. Now, one thing I actually want to note before that is that Warden Garcia makes mention that the park office is working on a new pool, and he has the keys to the all too important drill, which Quickspine and Mucus and the Henchmen are after. We learn later on in the episode. And basically, Izzy gets separated from Fern and Warden Garcia. He uses this as an opportunity to make some banter with the monsters of the week. And then the Rangers pop up. We get into a nice little Ranger fight. They all morph. They fight Quickspine, and they get their asses kicked for the most part. Quickspine is too fast for them. Even Ollie with a sprint streak sleeve isn't fast enough to take on Quickspine. Mucus, however, gets to fight Izzy in a one-on-one battle, and then Mucus starts running away, so Izzy goes off in pursuit. Mucus gets her alone, then Mucus calls in some henchmen back up. Izzy beats the henchmen, and then Mucus teleports away. Before Izzy can go rejoin her group of Ranger pals, her friends, she hears Fern calling for help. So she goes into the forest, and she sees Fern and Warden Garcia being backed into a corner by a bunch of henchmen. Again, they're still after that key. So Izzy, in Green Ranger form, saves them, and then Fern is panicking. Again, they got separated from Izzy. Izzy has not been in contact with them since then. Fern doesn't know what's happened to Izzy, and she's panicking because of this. She's over here saying, "What happened to my girlfriend? I don't know where she is. Anything could have happened to her." And Izzy, in all this commotion, she's been talking to them in that deeper voice to disguise her identity, and she completely drops it to calm down Fern. She takes Fern's hand. She says, "Hey, everything's okay. I'm sure that your girlfriend is okay." And Fern, Jacqueline, I think her full name is Jacqueline Joe. Yeah, so Jacqueline Joe is Fern. She puts on a good performance in this scene because again, she's still worrying. She's like, And I love her. She confesses that she loves Izzy in a very touching moment. And Izzy's just sitting here all awkwardly because, I mean, Fern is basically telling her own girlfriend that she loves her to her face. And Fern hasn't told anyone that she loves Izzy. She especially hasn't told Izzy. And she's worried that, she doesn't know what happened with Izzy. So she's worried that she might not get the chance to because something might have happened to her. And Izzy in Ranger form's like, hey, I'm sure she's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Now I gotta dip. So end scene. Now with the Rangers back at the base, Amelia's like, hey, so everyone's like, hey, so what's going on? And Izzy reveals that she also got accepted to the Oakdale University or Oakdale College elite sports program. However, she declined the offer. The reason being is because with how intense it is between the elite sports program and classes, it would take her away from her ranger duties. It's too much. There's not going to be any balance there. It's too much for her, and that's she makes a good point. That is a lot to balance with the ranger duties, especially because you have to leave Pine Ridge, and she can't do that while there's still Sporks on the loose. There's still Void King and Void Queen. They still have duties to do while they're in Pine Ridge, and she can't leave that. So she makes everyone promise not to say anything because she hasn't told Fern, Warden Garcia, or Mrs. Garcia. And she just told Javi in this moment too. And she's saying that, I'll find, the best moment to tell them. I just need to find out when that is. So then she goes and teleports to the track, or she goes to meet up with them at the track. And Fern starts to almost tell Izzy that, hey, I love you, when Warden Garcia pops up in a funny scene. He says, Isabella Naya Garcia. He says it with her full name in all caps. Warden Garcia is not happy because he called Oakdale College to ask them why they didn't accept Izzy, and he finds out that they did, but she turned down the offer. And Fern is flabbergasted by this, and she's like, wait, what? And Warden Garcia is like, you've been training for this. We've been training for this since your first competition. Why would you decline the offer? What's going on? And he's like, I have some important things to me that I have to take care of. I don't have time for this. And then Warden Garcia gets a call from Mrs. Garcia, so he has to take that. And he's like, I don't know how I'm going to tell your mother this. So he backs off and goes, off stage left. And Fern's like, what's going on? And Izzy obviously can't tell her the Ranger secret. And Fern's like, you know what? I'm not sure if I can be with somebody who's going to be keeping secrets from me. And she leaves. And Izzy's distraught by this. And Warden Garcia comes back and he's like, I couldn't tell your mother. You're going to have to tell her yourself. Meanwhile, before this scene, I forgot to mention, Mucus and Monster of the Week are back at the base. And the Monster of the Week, Quick Spine, basically says to Void Queen that, hey, give me another chance. I'll be able to get the key this time. So then they go back and teleport back over to go get the key. So now, back at the track, Izzy's like, I think Fern's gonna break up with me. And you felt Tessa's emotions in this scene. Tessa Rao is a great actress as Izzy, and this episode showcases that because she brought the emotion. Her and Jacqueline Joe both brought the emotion, and it was beautiful to watch. It was beautiful to watch. Both their sad and their happy moments. You felt that. Props to them. But yeah, basically, Henchman, Mucus, and Quick Spine teleport in, and Izzy steps in front of her dad, and Quick Spine goes to attack them. So Warden Garcia steps in front of Izzy, gets hit, he goes flying, and then Quick Spine grabs the key from, his injured body, and is like, all right, we're good to go. Meanwhile, the rest of the Rangers teleport in. Izzy grabs her dad, and they get to safety while the Rangers morph and they fight Quick Spine, Mucus, and Quick Spine, the Henchman. And then Izzy patches up her dad's leg, and Warden Garcia tells her, hey, I made this mistake with Javi. I basically pushed him away. I don't want to do the same thing to you. I don't know what's going on, but you don't owe me an explanation. I trust you, and I trust your judgment. However, Fern, she really cares about you. you should tell her what's going on. You owe her that much. And so she's like, yeah, I agree. So then at this point, the Rangers end up defeating Quickspine by using a combination. Well, Zato activates the Dino armor, and then with Ollie's suggestion, uses two Dino keys to form like a quicksand, and then they all use the Dino Fury Force, where they all attack at the same time, destroy Quickspine, he grows big, Megazord battle with the Primal Ultra Zord, they beat him, yay. However, when his powered up Sporix, pops out, Void Queen catches it, and then she sucks up, or I guess he gives her the key somehow, but basically the key is now in Void Queen's possession to do whatever it is that she wants to do with the drill. Back at the Dino Henge base, Amelia's like, hey Izzy, so how did everything go? And Izzy's like, Fern hasn't been returning my calls. And on social media she said that she's leaving early to get to Oakdale. She's gonna be leaving this afternoon. And Izzy is very distraught in this moment. She looks like she's on the verge of tears. And Javi goes over to comfort her in a touching moment. Again, love my Garcia sibling moments. And they're all like, yo, go after her. Ollie pops in and he's like, hey, you helped Amelia and I out. You should, take our advice. Go after Fern. And then Solon's like, hey, the last bus is leaving here right now. Go. So she teleports out, meets Fern on a bike at the bus station, and basically they confess their feelings to her. Amelia's like, hey, I love you too. And Fern's like, too? I haven't told anyone beside the Green Ranger. And she's like, oh, you're the Green Ranger. And Izzy's like, if I was, I wouldn't be able to say it out loud. And so basically Fern promises to keep her secret. And then Fern ends up leaving in a touching moment where they're like, yeah, you can call the Ranger hotline if you feel lonely. I hear Rangers can also teleport, so if you need anything, I'll teleport right to you. So Fern ends up leaving in the bus, but before she leaves, she says, may the power protect you, to Izzy. And that was a cute, if not odd moment. I don't know how she would know that phrase, but it's a nice little throwback to the olden Power Rangers days. And I think Jason was the last one to say that in Grid Connection. But yeah, again, it was a nice little moment. But let's go ahead and talk about our likes. Yeah, for the most part, most of my likes surround Izzy and Fern's emotional moments throughout the episode. Whether it was Fern's moment in the forest while she was talking to Izzy in Ranger form, where you could feel Jacqueline Joe's worry as she's trying to figure out what happened to Izzy, or when Izzy was talking to Fern, and Fern basically broke up with her, or even when she was talking to the Rangers after the breakup and she was distraught. Like, all those two women gave great performances, and I loved every moment of it. It was perfect. There was even some good comedic bits here in the episode. When Mucus and them initially ambushed them in the middle of Pine Ridge, it's a mime who calls the Ranger hotline, and Mucus is like, hey, you can't call the Ranger, you're a mime, you're a phony, you're not supposed to be able to speak. And that was funny. It was an unexpected and funny moment there with Mucus. Additionally, I also liked that when everyone goes back to the base after just destroying the monster of the week, Ollie calls Void King and Void Queen the Voids, and everyone's like, what? And he's like, yeah, it's like an evil band name. I'm like, oh my god, Ollie, that's hilarious and very apropos. Like, I loved it. Also, Izzy turning down the Oakdale College offer was good. As I mentioned long ago when Izzy was first mentioned to be like a high schooler, I wanted to see how her high school life would affect her Ranger duties, and the fact that her going to the college that she really wants to go to is no longer an immediate possibility because of her Ranger duties is a development I did not think that we would get out of this season. Like, bravo writers on that part. Even going as far as to have more drama between Izzy and Fern. Like, this is our first queer couple in the Power Rangers TV show. I expected everything to be all perfect between the two of them. But I mean, for the most part, it has been, except this episode where we got a good bit of drama, and I love that. I love that they didn't shy away from that, and they showed it in a relatively realistic way. This is something that a couple who's going off to college and may not be going off to the same college, or one of them may not be going to college at all. This is something that may actually happen, and people can take a lesson from it. But yeah, even Izzy's reaction to getting ghosted by Fern was good too. But segueing onto our dislikes, I actually didn't like the fact that Fern ghosted her. I understand that in today's climate, it is a thing that happens a lot, and is a thing that a high schooler would do. Like, I can totally see that happening, but for you to love somebody and then completely ghost them when you're about to go off to college here, and Fern says she's gonna be back month after month because her mom's gonna make her, but I still feel like it was super rude. Like, I get that Fern was hurt, but you should have made that breakup more definitive. Like, she said that I don't think that I can be with somebody who's not honest, but that wasn't necessarily a definitive enough breakup. But again, high schoolers, I can see this being an actual thing with them. Otherwise, the only other thing that I disliked about this episode was the fact that Izzy didn't tell her Warden Garcia that she's a ranger. Like, I wish that it happened. Like, I'm hopeful that he does find out that she's a ranger, her and Javi, before the end of the season, but now I'm not too sure if that's gonna happen. I feel like that would have happened in this episode, but who knows? Yeah, those are really the only two dislikes I have. Again, conclusion wise, yeah, this is a great episode with emotional moments from both Jacqueline Joe as Fern and Tessa Rao as Izzy. Both of them gave A+ performances. We got some development on the villain side with whatever Void Queen's plot may be, and it feels like that's going to be a big element going into these last few episodes. So I'm very excited to see what Void Queen's big plan turns out to be for Pine Ridge, and how she plans on ultimately getting her revenge for whatever the humans end up doing to them. But yeah, I hope that this does not rule out Fern being in Cosmic Fury in some capacity, though. I was really hoping that if we get a Q Ranger adaptation, that maybe she becomes a Ranger, but it does not seem like that's going to be the likely case here, unless Cosmic Fury takes place during summer vacation. But even then, Fern would probably still be training at college, so who knows. But even then, I hope that we at least get some cameos from Fern, because Fern and Izzy moments are great, and I would like to see some more development on Fern's part in this upcoming season. But anyway, question of the week. My only question is, what are Void Queen's plan for the key, or for the drill more specifically? She has her key. She's expressed interest in this drill, going as far as to attack Warden Garcia twice in a row. What does she want that drill for? What is she going to be drilling into? Could she be drilling into whatchamacallit? Into the Rangers base, so that she can get the rest of their sporks and then unleash them on Pine Ridge? Or could it be something else? We'll have to find out here in the next few episodes. We're getting really close to the end game, folks. We only have 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. That's 5 episodes before Dino Fury Season 2 is over, and then the wait for Cosmic Fury begins. But yeah, I cannot wait to see what happens. We're also a week out until Hasbro PulseCon and more Dino Fury or Cosmic Fury news. So I'm excited to see what they have for us at Hasbro PulseCon. Hopefully more Cosmic Fury news. Well, I expect more Cosmic Fury news, but hopefully more in-depth news in regards to what we can expect, especially in terms of the suits, because at that point, Dino Fury Season 2 in its entirety would have aired everywhere, including the States, so on Netflix, so we will see what happens. But until next time, again, thank you for watching. Stay safe, get your mask, stay with your masks on, get your boosters and all that. Omicron boosters are available at CVS, Walgreens, and wherever boosters are available in your area. COVID is no joke, but thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the video. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you again. I'm Dr. Zio. I will see you all the next time. Ciao.